Jenny at the Orcas Public Library again, and I have a couple more books for you. Books about Thanksgiving since it's that week, and I thought maybe we could read "'Twas the Night Before Thanksgiving," which is written by Dav Pilkey. And if you're a fan of Dav Pilkey, if you've read books like Dog Man or Big Dog, Little Dog, which I really love, and we have here at the library, you'll appreciate the illustrations, and you'll appreciate it's kind of a silly book, which is really, some of those silly books are my favorite. I don't know about you, but let's try it, see if you like it too. This book, though, I've got to say, was produced by Orchard Books, and so we're going to say thank you for letting us read it in quarantine. Yes, definitely. Silly turkey. I like stories about turkeys. I don't know if you do. Ugh. But let's go ahead. Let's try it, okay? "'Twas the night before Thanksgiving, and all through the trees the fall leaves were spinning aloft in the breeze. 8 children had boarded their school bus with grins in hopes that a field trip soon would begin." I remember those days. They sang as they rode through autumn terrains, while visions of drumsticks danced in their brains. O'er the river and through the woods, with winding and weaves, their school bus sailed on through the new fallen leaves. When out on the road there arose such a clatter, they threw down their windows to see what was the matter. Sounds like another song we might have heard too, huh? When what with their wondering eyes should they see but a miniature farm and 8 tiny turkey, and a little old man so lively and rugged they knew in a moment it was Farmer Mac Nugget. He was dressed all in denim from his head to his toe, with a pinch of polyester and a dash of Velcro. And then in a twinkling they heard in the straw the prancing and pawing of each little claw. More rapid than chickens, his cockerels they came. He whistled and shouted and called them by name. Look at all these turkeys. Now Ollie, now Stanley, now Larry and Mo, on Wally, on Beaver, and Shemp and Groucho. The turkeys were chunky with smiley, bearded faces, and they greeted the children with downy embraces. Look at all of them hugging them, and look at how excited all those turkeys are. So out through the barnyard they ran and they flew, and they gobbled and giggled as friends sometimes do. Can you make a gobbling noise? Let's hear it. Can you? Let's see. Oh, I heard a couple. Maybe one more. Gobble, 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 gobble. How was that? I'm sure yours was better than mine. Then somebody spotted an axe by the door, and she asked Farmer Nugget what it was for. With a blink of his eye and a twist of his head, the old farmer told a grim tale of dread. "Tonight," said Mac Nugget, "these feathery beasts will be chopped up and roasted for Thanksgiving feasts." The children stood still as tears filled their eyes. Then they clamored aloud in a chorus of cries. "Oh dear," cried Mac Nugget, "now what should I do?" So he dashed to the well, and the teacher went too. And they fetched some water, fresh from the ground, in hopes that a swig might calm everyone down. And when they returned to quiet the matter, the children were calmer and mysteriously better. The boys and girls drank up their drinks in the hay, then thanked old McNugget and waddled away. They limped to the school bus, all huffing and puffing. It's not easy to walk with hot turkey stuffing. And then, as a school bus drove off in the night, McNugget looked round. Not a turkey in sight. 'Twas the night before Thanksgiving, and the stars up above shone down on a school bus abound with love. The very next evening, 8 families were blessed with 8 fluffy Thanksgiving turkeys as guests. They feasted on veggies with jelly and toast, and everyone was thankful. The turkeys were most. You see all those turkeys in there? Yeah. So each one gave thanks for love and for living, and they all had a wonderful, happy Thanksgiving. I hope you had a happy Thanksgiving too. And there's a picture of the turkeys in the back. Yes. Those turkeys sound like they had a pretty happy Thanksgiving, that's for sure. And since we're reading a Dav Pilkey book, let's just read another one. How about it? So I thought another silly book. This one's called Dog Breath. And it's also written and illustrated by Dav Pilkey. It is the tale of the horrible trouble with halitosis. That's bad breath. So I think we'll give that one a go. We'll see about that one. And this book is actually produced by Scholastic Books, and we're going to thank them for letting us read it in quarantine. So thank you. And gosh, this book was purchased too by the Stoopkey Collection Endowment Fund here at the library. So we are thankful we got to have the book in the first place. Are you ready? Are you ready? Yes. Who's ready? I'm ready. Okay. Let's try it. There once was a dog named Hallie who lived with the Tosis family. Halitosis was a very good dog, but she had a big problem. I think you can guess what it is, right? Halitosis had horrible breath. Whenever Halitosis opened her mouth, horrible things happened. Whew. Can you see all the horrible things? Wow. There's some bad stuff happening there. When the children took Halitosis for a walk, everyone else walked on the other side of the street. Even skunks avoided Halitosis. That sounds like it's pretty smelly. But the real trouble started one day when Grandma Tosa stopped by for a cup of tea. And Hallie jumped up to say hello. Oh, no. Mr. and Mrs. Tosis were not amused. Something had to be done about that smelly dog, they said. And the next day, Mr. and Mrs. Tosis decided to find a new home for Hallie. Oh, and the sign says, "Free dog to a good home." Oh, they don't look very happy. The children knew that the only way they could save their dog was to get rid of her bad breath. So they took Halitosis to the top of the mountain that had a breathtaking view. Breathtaking. They hoped that the breathtaking view would take Hallie's breath away. but it didn't. Next, the children took Halitosis to a very exciting movie. They hoped that all the excitement would leave Hallie breathless. Breath of a salesman. It'll leave you breathless, it says here. But it didn't. And finally, the children took Halitosis to a carnival. They hoped that Hallie would lose her breath on the speedy roller coaster. You'll lose your breath on a roller coaster, it says. Let's see. Wow. Whew. That's bad breath. But that idea stunk too. The plans to change Hallie's bad breath had failed. Now only a miracle could save Halitosis, and sadly the three friends said goodbye, unaware that a miracle was just on the horizon. Later that night, when everyone was sound asleep, two sneaky burglars crept into the Tosis house. The two burglars were tiptoeing through the dark, quiet rooms when suddenly they came upon Halitosis. "Yipes!" whispered one burglar. "It's a big, mean, scary dog." "Aw, don't be silly," whispered the other burglar. "It's only a cute little fluffy puppy." The two burglars giggled at the sight of such a friendly little dog. "That dog couldn't hurt a fly," whispered one burglar. "Come here, Poochie Poochie," whispered the other. So Halitosis came over and gave the burglars a nice big kiss. Slurp! Oh no! And the next morning, the Tosis family awoke to find two burglars passed out cold on their living room floor. It was a miracle. The Tosis family got a big reward for turning in the crooks, and soon Halitosis was the most famous crime-fighting dog in the country. One of the papers says, "Bad breath bungles burglary. Hero hound halts hoodlums. Rancid respirations restrain robbers. Panting pooch paralyzes prowlers. Mutant space dog captures evil Elvis clones." Well, I don't know about that. And in the end, Mr. and Mrs. Tosis changed their mind about finding a new home for Hallie. They decided to keep their wonderful watchdog after all. And it says, "This home protected by dog breath." Because life without Halitosis just wouldn't make any sense. There it is. That's right. Oh, yeah. Oh, lights out. I guess that means our time is done here. So I hope you like those Thanksgiving stories, and I hope that you have a lot to be thankful for. Yes, and we're going to see you next week. We have some of these books in the library if you're interested. And with that, since the light's out, I'm going to say bye-bye. There you go. Have a good week. See you next week. Bye.